Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison?
Here.
Bailey?
Here.
Rodriguez?
Here.
Graham?
Here.
Coniston?
Here.
Tanner?
Here.
Staley?
Here.
President Graham?
Present. We have the November 17, 2017 meeting minutes for the agenda and the regular meeting are up for approval at this time.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the November 7th minutes.
Mr. President, I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion by Ms. Coniston, a second by Mr. Canner for approval of the November 7, 2017 agenda and regular meetings. Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Graham?
Yes.
Coniston?
Yes.
Tanner?
Yes.
Staley?
Yes.
All right, so first opportunity for poll public. If anyone would like to come forward at this time, you'll have up to 3 minutes. All right, we'll move on to our standing committees, and we will begin with Administration Financial Management. Chairperson Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. President. Administration and Financial Management did meet last Tuesday. Our minutes are on file, and we will meet again next Tuesday sometime after 6:30.
All right, Community Engagement. Chairperson Coniston.
Thank you, President Graham. Community engagement met last week. Our minutes are on file, and we'll meet again in the back next week sometime after 6:30.
All right, thank you. Community Standards and Enforcement. Chairperson Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Community Standards and Enforcement met last Tuesday. Our minutes are on file. We'll meet next Tuesday sometime after 6:30.
All right, thank you, sir. Economic Development. Chairperson Morrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. Economic Development also met last Tuesday. Our minutes are on file, and we will meet again next Tuesday sometime after 6:30 in the back.
All right, thank you. Infrastructure Maintenance and Services. Chairperson Gray.
Thank you, Mr. President. Infrastructure Maintenance Service also met last week, and our minutes are on file, and we'll meet sometime in the back at 6:30 next Tuesday.
All right, thank you. Public Safety. Chairperson Staley.
Thank you, Mr. President. Public Safety did meet last Tuesday. I was unable to attend, but the minutes are on file. A quick congratulations to Whitehall Police Department Officer Dusty Willis for being honored with the Mothers Against Drunk Driving Award of Excellence for his hard work at the department. He made the city proud, and he continues to do that hard work. We will meet again next Tuesday sometime after 6:30.
All right, thank you, sir. Parks and Recreation. Chairperson Canner.
Thank you, Mr. President. Parks and Recreation met last week. Minutes are on file. We'll meet again next week in the back after 6:30.
All right, thank you. Those are all our standing committee reports. We'll move on to our officials' reports, and we'll begin with our mayor, Ms. Kim Maggard.
Good evening. Welcome to everyone. I have some good news. I was informed yesterday that the City of Whitehall received a COPS grant for 3 police officers. This is a 36-month grant, and at the end of the grant, we will be expected to absorb all the cost of those 3 police officers. But until then, this will pay approximately half of our cost for the police officers. So this is a very, very good thing. I was very surprised, and so was Deputy Chief Sharpless, who wrote the grant. So we were celebrating yesterday about this, and you'll be getting legislation later on about how this is going to be funded exactly. I'm pretty sure it's a reimbursement grant, so we'll be using the 241 Law Enforcement Trust Fund for that. So anyway, just wanted to give you the good news. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have our city attorney, Mr. Michael Bivens.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council. Thank you, everyone, for coming out this evening. I just want to give an official update. Today marks 1 year that the Mayor's Court, my office, has been doing the diversion program with the Columbus Urban League. I just want to give you some updated numbers, and I know that I'm probably a lot harder on myself than what these numbers are because I was actually shooting for a 10 to 20% mark, but let me tell you where the numbers are so far. We have successfully diverted 160 individuals through Mayor's Court in the year's time. Out of that, 94 of them went through the Empower You section, and 66 went through the workforce development. Out of the workforce development, I asked how many of those individuals have maintained employment consistently over a 6-month period, and there are 27 individuals that have maintained employment for over 6 months, which I consider that to be very significant considering. In 2018, we want to retool and look forward to how we can do some different things. But this is with the Empower You, one of the greatest kind of markers in the data. We have an 84% completion rate in our Empower You. And the Empower You program is with respect to drug and alcohol. And if you recall, back in June, which is the last time I reported on this, the drug and alcohol component only dealt with marijuana use. We have not gone anything beyond marijuana usage, which is a segue into just reminding council as well as the public that the City of Whitehall's Mayor's Court has received a grant to do one of the first Mayor's Court drug courts in the state of Ohio. I believe that it actually may be one of the first Mayor's Court in the region. I did an all-day seminar today with the Ohio State Bar Association, and I was just whispering to the mayor prior to council. Our city has a tremendous task ahead of it with respect to this crisis. One of the most striking things that I got from today is that those that are affected with opiate addiction, the highest percentage are white males between the ages of 38 to 44. And it is an amazing statistic, and the individuals are dying at incredible rates. And I want to thank our mayor publicly for having the foresight and having the courage to take this and champion this for the city of Whitehall. It's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of effort. I know we're the type of city that can take it. My office is committed to being a partner with the mayor with respect to this, and I look forward to some of the great things that we're going to do in 2018. Last, and certainly not least, I would like to, in advance, wish everybody in this room a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy it, enjoy your family, enjoy it in any way that you celebrate it, but I look forward to having my whole family home. My daughter's home from college, and I'm just feeling all bubbly and nostalgic. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
All righty, thank you. Now we'll hear from our city auditor, Mr. Dan Miller.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no official report other than what you have in front of you. I would like to ask for favorable consideration on ordinances 102, 103, 111, and resolution 61.
All right. So noted. Well, next we'll hear from our treasurer, Mr. Steve Quinzel.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of council. I have no official report tonight. However, I would like to let you know, and Mr. Cantor, you would probably be the most interested in this. I have attended the last two, or the first two events that our park rangers are conducting. First was the walk with the ranger. There were only 4 of us that day. It was pretty cold, but the walk did go on as scheduled, and actually very enlightening. Found out where all the pawpaw trees are down Long Street.
Oh, I didn't know we had any.
And then last Saturday, I participated in the Paint the Colors of Whitehall, which was extremely good. There were, I think, 8 of us attending that, and that was a big success. Everybody was very pleased with what happened that day, and hopes are to continue that, to do one each season. But it was a great event, and kudos to Parks and Rec.
I knew that. Thank you. She told me you were gold.
All right, well, we have the following officials' reports in the council office. We have the Division of Fire Overtime Report for October 2017, the Auditor's Expense Report for October 2017, the Auditor's Bank Report for October 2017, the Auditor's Statement of Cash Position Report for October 2017. And we also have the auditor's revenue report for October 2017, the treasurer's investment report for September and October 2017, the treasurer's activity by fund report for September and October 2017, and the treasurer's fund reconciliation report for September and October 2017. Those are all the that's all we have. On communications, petitions, and claims, we do have the two items listed on the agenda this evening. They are the minutes from the November 2nd, 2017 meeting of the Planning Commission, as well as the minutes from the November 13, 2017 meeting of the Board of Zoning Building Appeals. So those are all the communications, petitions, and claims. We'll move on to our first public hearing for this evening, and we have Ordinance 98, 2017, amending Section 1123.08 titled Limited Commerce District and Section 1123.10 titled General Commerce District in the codified ordinances of the City of Whitehall to clarify inpatient treatment facility requirements. At this time, I will open that public hearing and ask if there is anyone who would like to come forward and speak in favor of Ordinance 98, 2017. One more time, I'll ask if there's anyone who would like to come forward and speak in favor of Ordinance 98, 2017. All right.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. Woodruff and Mr. Ryan could not make it this evening, but this ordinance has been went over with the administration, and the Planning Commission has overwhelmingly approved it, and I believe it will be a great facility for this community on Broad Street there.
All right. Is there anyone else who would like to say something in favor of Ordinance 98, 2017? All right. At this time, I will ask if there's anyone who would like to speak in opposition to Ordinance 98, 2017. One more time, if there is anyone who would like to speak in opposition to Ordinance 98, 2017, you would come forward at this moment or time, whatever. All right. Seeing none, no one, I will close the public hearing on Ordinance 98, 2017, and we will move to the public hearing on Ordinance 100, 2017. It's amending the zoning map attached to Chapter 1122 of the 1970 Codified Ordinances of the City of Whitehall, Ohio, and as subsequently amended, allowing a special permit under 1123.10C1 to allow Mr. Hero to operate a drive-in window and drive-through facilities on the property located at 4356 East Broad Street, parcel number 090005465, property owned by Plaza International Properties, LLC. So I'll open the public hearing on Ordinance 100, 2017 at this time, and if there was anyone who would like to come forward to speak on behalf or in favor of Ordinance 100, 2017, please do so. State your name and address for the record, please.
Brian Savage, 1414 East Broad Street, Columbus, Ohio, 43205. Council members, mayor, officials, my name is Brian Savage. I'm a real estate broker here in Columbus. I do a lot within the city of Whitehall. As such, I also represent Mr. Hero Corporate out of Cleveland and their local franchisees. The gentlemen behind me are the first of those franchisees coming into this market, and we've chosen Whitehall as that location. I'm also the listing broker for the property at 4352 to 56 East Broad Street, and we're just coming back for the third time now to ask you guys from a verification standpoint, if we can get the drive-through window up for their business. You did approve it about 2 years ago, I believe, for Jimmy John's, and we're basically asking for the same look and feel as Jimmy John's did as well. That was what you guys approved at that time.
All right. Are there any questions from council members? Okay, well,
Thank you.
appears that you're good to go. Is there anyone else who would like to come forward and speak in favor of ordinance 100, 2017?
Again, Mr. President, I would say that this has been reviewed by the city staff and by the planning commission, both favorably recommending this. As the gentleman said, we had passed this for another restaurant facility a couple of years ago, and I think it's a good fit for the city.
All right, thank you. Anyone else who would like to come forward and speak in favor of ordinance 100, 2017? All right, I will now ask for anyone who would like to speak in opposition to ordinance 100, 2017. You may come forward at this time. One more time, is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to ordinance 100, 2017? All right, I will close the public hearing on ordinance 100, 2017. And Ms. Frymark, please call the roll on whether each member of council was given a copy of each item of legislation listed on the agenda prior to the meeting and including any add-on legislation.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Yes.
Coniston,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll begin our ordinances and resolutions this evening. We will start off under third readings. We have ordinance 98, 2017. It's amending section 1123.08 titled Limited Commerce District and section 1123.10 titled General Commerce District in the codified ordinances of the City of Whitehall to clarify inpatient treatment facility requirements.
Mr. President, wish to introduce ordinance 98, 2017 and move for the adoption.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Morrison, a second by Mr. Bailey for introduction and adoption of ordinance 98, 2017. Questions or comments? Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Coniston,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Staley.
Yes.
Ordinance 98, 2017 has been adopted. Our next ordinance is 100, 2017. It is amending the zoning map attached to Chapter 1122 of the 1970 Codified Ordinances of the City of Whitehall, Ohio, and as subsequently amended, allowing a special permit under 1123.10C1 to allow Mr. Hero to operate a drive-in window and drive-through facilities on the property located at 4356 East Broad Street, parcel number 090005465, property owned by Plaza International Properties, LLC.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce ordinance 100, 2017. Move for its adoption.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Rodriguez and a second by Mr. Canner for introduction and adoption of ordinance 100, 2017. Questions or comments? Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Coniston,
Yes.
Tanner, Staley.
Ordinance 100, 2017 has been adopted. Those are all the items we have under third reading. Under second reading, we have ordinance 102, 2017. It's approving and making a supplemental appropriation in the amount of $25,000 from unappropriated monies in the General Fund 101 to the Income Tax Refunds Expense Account. That ordinance is being read by title only. Next, we have ordinance 103, 2017. It's approving and making a supplemental appropriation of $67,557 from unappropriated monies in the general fund to the police salaries account and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce ordinance 103, 2017. Move for a suspension of rules.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Bailey and a second by Mr. Staley for introduction and suspension of all rules on ordinance 103, 2017. Questions or comments? Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Coniston,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Staley,
Yes.
The rules have been suspended on ordinance 103, 2017.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Staley for adoption of ordinance 103, 2017. Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Coniston,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Staley,
Yes.
Ordinance 103, 2017 has been adopted. Our next ordinance is 104, 2017. It's authorizing the creation of the Energy Project Fund and declaring an emergency, and that ordinance is being read by title only. Next, we have Resolution 60, 2017. It's a resolution adopting the 2017 Parks and Recreation Master Plan Update of Whitehall Community Park for the City of Whitehall. That resolution is being read by title only. That's the last item we have under second readings. Under first reading, we will begin with Ordinance 105, 2017. It's making appropriation for current general fund expenses, street expenses, and state highway material expenses during the period from January 1, 2018 to December 31, 2018 in the total sum of $33,217,124 and declaring an emergency. That ordinance is being read by title only. Next, we have Ordinance 106, 2017. It's making an appropriation for certain special revenue, internal service, and fiduciary accounts. Y'all understand what I'm saying. For the calendar year in 2018, in the total sum of $15,562,209.82 and declaring an emergency. And that ordinance is being read by title only. Next up, we have Ordinance 107, 2017. It's amending Section 184.3 of the Codified Ordinances titled Definitions and declaring an emergency. That ordinance is being read by title only. Next is Ordinance 108, 2017. It's amending the zoning map attached to Chapter 1122 of the 1970 Codified Ordinances of the City of Whitehall, Ohio, and is subsequently amended, allowing a special permit under 1123.10C22 to allow Jason Glazer, DBA J's Metal Crafting, to operate a welding, repair, and creative metal iron work business on property located at 4025 East Main Street, Unit C, parcel number 090-001-97200, owned by Joyce Sheets. That's being read by title only. We will have a public hearing on this ordinance on December 19, 2017, and it's been referred to the Planning Commission for their December 7, 2017 meeting. Next, we have Ordinance 109, 2017. It's to authorize the execution of an amended and restated Community Investment Area Agreement and an amended and restated Tax Increment Financing Agreement. That ordinance is being read by title only. Next is Ordinance 110, 2017. It's amending the zoning map attached to Chapter 1122 of the 1970 Codified Ordinances of the City of Whitehall, Ohio, and is subsequently amended, allowing a special permit under 1123.10C27 to allow DNR Body Shop to operate a specialty automotive repair establishment that will include motor vehicle body and fender repair on the property located at 951A and 951B Robin Wood Avenue, parcel number 090-000-311, property owned by Charter Properties, LLC. That's being read by title only. We will also have a public hearing on that ordinance on December 19, 2017, and it also has will be heard by the Planning Commission on the December 7th, 2017. Next, we have Ordinance 111, 2017. It's authorizing the creation of the Parks Revitalization Grant Fund and appropriating $94,230 from unappropriated monies in the Park Revitalization Grant Fund to the Parks Revitalization Grant Expense Account and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce ordinance 111 and move for suspension of rules.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Bailey and a second by Mr. Cantor for introduction and suspension of all rules on ordinance 111, 2017. Questions or comments? Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Staley,
Yes.
The rules have been suspended on ordinance 111, 2017.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bailey and a second by Mr. Cantor for adoption of ordinance 111, 2017. Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Staley,
Yes.
Ordinance 111, 2017 has been adopted. That brings us to our last item of legislation this evening. It is on the agenda. It is Resolution 61, 2017. It's resolving to approve then and now certificates and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President, I'd like to introduce Resolution 61, 2017, move for suspension of rules.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Bailey, a second by Mr. Cantor for introduction and suspension of all rules on Resolution 61, 2017. Questions or comments? Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Staley,
Yes.
The rules have been suspended on Resolution 61, 2017.
Thank you, Mr. President. Move to adopt.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Bailey, second by Mr. Cantor for adoption of Resolution 61, 2017. Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison,
Yes.
Hit a blank.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Staley,
Yes.
Resolution 61, 2017 has been adopted. All right, that's the last item of legislation we have on the agenda this evening.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Lori Elmore and Joanna Heck to the Volunteer Firefighters Fund Board effective January 1st, 2018.
I'll second that.
Well, I have a motion by Mr. Rodriguez and a second by Mr. Cantor to appoint Joanne Heck and Lori Elmore to the Volunteer Firefighters Dependent Fund Board. Questions or comments?
They're going, what?
Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Staley,
The motion has passed. We will now move on to poll public, second opportunity for the evening. If anyone would like to come forward, you have up to 3 minutes.
Are you gonna do the police?
Do the next one.
Okay. Well, they're here.
Who's here? It's like a Christmas present.
Dan's one. Same thing again, but for the police.
For police.
For the police.
Yeah.
We have the police board?
So
Yeah.
replace the firefighters.
Gotcha.
with the police.
I
No, we
wasn't.
went through this, but you were writing in the back.
Yeah, I was writing all this down. Okay. Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Lori Elmore and Joanna Heck to the Volunteer Police Fund Board effective, pardon me? Police
That's all
Dependent
right, I'll correct it.
Fund board.
Fund Board effective January 1st, 2018.
Second.
Well, I have a motion by Mr. Rodriguez and a second by Mr. Cantor to appoint Joanne Heck and Lori Elmore to the Volunteer Policeman's Dependent Fund Board. Questions or comments?
They're going, what?
Deja vu.
Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison,
Yes.
Bailey,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Coniston,
Yes.
Tanner,
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Well, congratulations. That motion also passed.
You'll love it.
Hard work.
Good pay, too.
Thought this was going to be easy, didn't you? All right. That is the last item of legislation we have this evening. It's time for our first opportunity for poll public, our second opportunity for poll public. If anyone would like to come forward, you'll have up to 3 minutes. All right, we'll move on to Community Date Board. Who has something for Community Date Board?
Of course. In 2 weeks will be our tree lighting at 6 o'clock right here at City Hall. And I noticed all the decorations were going up right now, so it's an exciting time of the year. And then right after that, well, not right after that, but about a week later, we will be around judging all of the houses for their lights. So everybody get your lights up, be around judging around December 12th, I believe, through the 14th. And then on Saturday, December 16th, is Breakfast with Santa over at Etna Road Elementary School. It will be at 9 o'clock in the morning till about 11:30. And I believe we have the Bell Choir going to be there, the Etna Road Choir. The park rangers will be there. They haven't told me exactly what they're going to be doing yet, but they'll have some sort of activity planned. And of course, Santa will be there. And I believe we have a lot of council members here that will be doing the pancakes. So it should be a fun time. New to this year, Chris, you'll be happy to know that this was approved by the police and that we will not be disturbing anybody. We were worried, we want to go community Christmas caroling. So
Don't do it.
I have been watching Christmas movies now for a few weeks, so I thought, how fun would it be if we got the whole community together to go Christmas caroling, but then I decided that that might be very difficult, seeing as the city is quite large. So we are going to be on the Thursday, December 21st, over at the police gazebo. The community will gather, and we are going to be doing Christmas carols. So please join us. I cannot carry a tune. I think that we're in then.
No meeting.
Are you going to be walking around or just singing right there?
We are going to be singing right there at the gazebo.
Oh, I'll come watch it.
I'll bring a big
We're
bucket.
going to invite everybody to come participate, whether you want to sing or whether you just want to watch, make fun, whatever it is. And then afterwards, we are all going to go over to TJ's Country Place and have some hot chocolate. So please join us Thursday, December 21st.
What time?
7 o'clock.
I'll be parking lot on that one.
And I have talked with the chief because I wanted to make sure that he didn't, well, first of all, I don't want my singing judged, but I also don't want to, be slapped on the wrist or anything for disturbing the police, the noise ordinance or anything.
Aaron, Judy called me today, and we're going to do on the 11th, so from the 11th to the 14th.
The 11th to the 14th for judging and the lights. Perfect. That's all I have.
Cool.
All right. Who else has something for Community Date Board?
I do, Mr. President. December 9th, Whitehall Yearling High School is going to be in the auditorium hosting a concert by smooth jazz saxophonist Paul Taylor, sponsored by Jazz Brew and WSAX, and they expect it to sell out. Tickets are on sale online. I know you can get them through Paul Taylor's website, so this is another good thing. The school district is trying to really promote the use of that facility, and this concert, I think, is gonna be a good start.
Who else has something for community? No one? Well, we'll move on to poll council, and we'll begin with Mr. Morrison.
Thank you, Mr. President. We'd like to thank everyone for coming, and although they've left, welcome Mr. Hero to Whitehall, and wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Bailey.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to thank you all for coming, and yes, I want to wish you all a safe and happy Thanksgiving, and hope to see you back in 2 weeks.
All right, thank you, sir. Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I too wish to thank everyone or welcome everyone here this evening, and welcome Mr. Hero to Whitehall. Looking forward to trying that out. And happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Meatball sub.
Thank you.
Mr. Gregg.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank everyone for coming, and just have a safe and happy holidays for the week.
Thank you. Ms. Coniston.
I want to thank everybody also for coming out. And this week, actually the last 2 weeks, I found out the good that social media actually has. And, you know, so often we see all these negative things that are in the news. But this past 2 weeks on social media, I have seen this community come together and clothe people, feed families of people with food, and our schools giving away food. And it's just, it's very, very touching to see this community come together, and just a testament of what Whitehall is all about, and our great people in it. And it's just a special time of the year, and please all give thanks, be careful on the roads, and love your people, love your family.
All right. Mr. Cantor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Have a nice Thanksgiving. This community lost a couple of members of our community here in the last week. In fact, today we lost, I used to call him, and I always did, Mr. Ram, Russ McAfee. We did a little ceremony at the football game here a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago. He passed away, and then this one was touching this. Amber Coons Moses was killed by a drunk driver a week ago. She was on her way home from work. I've known her since she was 4 years old. In fact, her and my son hung out quite a bit as they grew up, played t-ball together. Keep them in your prayers. Tough time, Thanksgiving, the holidays. It seems like something always bad happens. So have a nice Thanksgiving, everybody.
All right, thank you. Mr. Staley.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no comments at this time. Thank you.
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming out this evening. And I would like to see all of you at our next meeting in 2 weeks. It begins at 7 o'clock and will end when we get through all the business for the evening. We have no further official business this evening. That usually means somebody's going to make a motion for adjournment.
Mr. President.
Yes.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Bailey and a second by Mr. Rodriguez for adjournment. Ms. Frymark, please call the roll.
Morrison?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Coniston?
Yes.
Tanner?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
All right, we are adjourned.